Well, Bitcoin is doing what we expected, and well, it's a weekend, so ranging around the range that we have been talking about yesterday. So let's go into some more in-depth technical analysis. Hello Adrian and welcome back to my channel. It is 7:30 p.m. UTC plus 8 is my time zone, and hope you are all doing well on this Saturday. It's weekend. Everything is chill. Everything is relaxed, more relaxed at least. So wanted to wish you all the best first, and welcome. Hi Jeremy, hi Dennis, hi Michael, hi Darren, hi Lex, hi Manding, hi Nikolai, hi Sweet Canary, hi Rob, hi Lepe Lewis. Lepe Lewis. Welcome once again. So anyways, first of all, let's go back into what we have been talking about quickly about yesterday. Yesterday, like I said, I was in the short term quite bullish. I think we were around this area here, and I said, yeah, we still have some leg up towards the upside. Very likely somewhere around the EMA 55, around 11.6, 11.650 maybe if we are lucky, but somewhere around there is very likely that we have continuation. Why? Well, I've spoken to about it yesterday already, because we have some sort of like a double bottom, or also bullish divergence, as you can see here from this point to this point, right? So what am I doing? What am I doing? Sorry, it's still a little bit fuzzy. This point to this point, and of course from this bottom to this point. Sorry. Yeah, so we have bullish divergence there on the 4-hour chart, and basically that is what is working out right now. And then it basically went up, as you can see here. So yeah, that is the bullish divergence that we are currently seeing playing out. And what I also said is it's very likely that we won't be breaking that 11,650 or 11,600 area. It is obviously possible, but it's quite unlikely because, well, as you know, during the weekend, usually we don't have really the momentum or the volume to be breaking a substantial resistance, but also usually we don't have the volume to be breaking a substantial support as well. So, you know, more about ranging is usually what happens during the weekend, and that's the reason why I don't like to trade during the weekend. So yeah, what I did is what I told you guys yesterday. I will be just closing my long position here around that 11,500-ish area, around the EMA 55. And that's basically what I've done, and then now I'm just chilling and just waiting for the next things to be happening. But yeah, anyways, that's a short update on the continuation of what I expected yesterday. And yeah, as you can see, things kind of worked out. Yeah, that's the beauty of technical analysis. Sometimes it does work out. More often than not, to be honest. But yeah, sometimes it doesn't work out, but that's what trading and probabilities is all about, right? Anyways, let's go on into the more macro analysis, right? So first of all, let's take a look on the daily close. Well, what did I say yesterday? If we would have a close, I want it to be above the EMA 21, obviously, and even better, it should be above the 10 simple moving average, or this red line that we can see here. What happened? We did close above the EMA 21, which is obviously very, very positive, but we did not close above the 10 simple moving average. So what didn't happen doesn't mean that it can't happen, right? So this is not a very bad formation. This is definitely not a bad daily close as well. As you can see, it is bullish engulfing in comparison with the previous one, but it did still get rejected, as you can see, from this R1 line, or basically this is if we look at this whole structure here, you can clearly see that that's where a lot of action has happened, right? So as you can see here, bounced off here, broke down here, bounced back up here. So a lot of action happened in that area, or in that zone. So was kind of expected that we wouldn't be able to break that area just yet. Doesn't mean that it cannot happen as well. If we are looking at the daily RSI, we can clearly see pretty much the same structure that we have been seeing. So what is next? Well, we are actually, as you can see, in the middle of the RSI, so it's very possible that we can go one more leg down, or we can go one more leg up tomorrow. It's one of those two things. You know, as you know, weekend action, I can't really you know, I can't really trade. That's the reason why I don't like to be trading, and definitely this range is just like quite annoying to be trading, to be honest. So I'm not in any position right now or anything like that. What I am expecting, well, since that we can see the 4-hour candle that is being formed right here, right now, we can clearly see that it is a bearish engulfing candle, right? So hold all the way here, but we can also see that the RSI didn't, you know, is still, you know, constructive. It's not nothing, you know, bad or anything like that. There is a potential bearish divergence being formed though, so that is very likely to be working out a little bit. So as you can see here, we made a higher low here, and on the RSI we made a higher high here. So that's some hidden bearish divergence, potential hidden bearish divergence, as long as we don't, of course, if we create a higher high, then that gets negated, right? But there's potential hidden bearish divergence ongoing right now. So is it completely, you know, the structure completely wrong or anything like that? No, it's just basically weekend bullshit that is happening right now. And what am I looking for if you would be like, you know, putting the gun to my head? What am I looking for? Well, basically the same things. On this candle here, I would like to see in the next 4-hour candle close over the next 20 minutes, obviously, that it closes above the EMA 21, but it would be actually even better if we close like around this area here, around above 11,500, so it doesn't, you know, it looks like a quite bullish, not bullish, but still half of the candle is then, you know, pushed towards the upside. That means that there's still quite a lot of buying pressure, right? So whenever you see these kind of long wicks on the bottom, as you can see, there is a lot of buying pressure going towards the upside. And every time you see that, as you can see, long wick towards from the downside towards the upside, you can see that we have a momentum push towards the upside. Very similar here. Once again, a long wick from the bottom, and we get a nice push towards the upside. Obviously, this is all small term, very small and short term bullshit. It does not affect anything on the long term. The long term is exactly the same as where we have left off last time. We need to just be holding the green box here above. We cannot close the daily candle up below the previous low here at basically 11,000 ish area. Let's just round it off, 11,000. If we close a daily candle below the 11,000, things will be very bad, and very likely we will be going down towards the 10.5k, make a bounce there, and then very likely end up over the next, you know, period around this area, this green box here. 9.6 to 9.7k is very likely. But on the other hand, well, like I said, we are forming some sort of like a double bottom here. Like I said, double bottom. We have some bullish divergence, and well, everything is actually still looking quite nice, and we are holding the 11k line, right? So let's see if over the next couple of days, Monday, Tuesday, if we can break this resistance line towards the upside. And then if we do break this resistance line, which is I kind of like, you know, I think it will. I think we at least make that bounce at least back to 11.9 ish or something like that over the next week, and that will basically be the key area, right? So if we manage to break this resistance here, very likely we will be going back to 12,300, where this body of the candle is 12,300. Make a little of a pit stop there, and then continuation back towards the 11.5k or the top of our range once again. That's basically the bullish scenario that we're seeing. So how can we, you know, make a little bit of more information on what is going to be happening? Because on Monday, of course, we have our weekly candle close, which is super important, and even more important is our monthly candle close that is going to be happening as well. I think it will be Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday will be a monthly candle close. So all of that is lining up for a gigantic move. So whenever, you know, monthly closes happens and weekly close happens and stuff like that, I do expect the macro of the trend to be showing the direction. So very likely next week we will either see below 11,000 or above 12,000. That's basically what we very likely going to be seeing next week. And then basically based upon that, we'll know the direction that Bitcoin is wants to be going to. So if we, of course, next week go back towards the 12,000 and close above there on the daily basis, very likely we'll be heading towards that 13,000, 14,000 ish area. If we are closing below the 11,000 next week, very likely we'll be heading below the 10K area. So basically on the weekly, so in the next couple of days, we will very likely know what Bitcoin wants to be doing over the next couple of weeks. Let's put it like that. Overall, like I said, I still think the probabilities are still more towards the upside than the downside, just because on the monthly chart and the weekly chart, things are still looking fine. There's nothing, there's no confirmation of anything horribly bad for now. But of course, you can't predict those kind of things. You just have to let it happen, and then once it happens, we can change our strategy, adapt our strategy. So if for example, if the weekly candle close and the monthly candle close is very bad, I will be just looking upon that. I will be basing myself and putting myself into a short position or a long position based upon that information. So we still have a couple of days to go, but yeah, that's basically what I am thinking and preparing myself for that. Let's take a look on the CME chart, because we had our weekly and monthly our weekly close already for the CME chart. So that is quite important, because very likely the price is going to be hovering during the weekend in a range, but very likely on Monday we will end up around that price there. And as we can see, we closed the price at 11,450, and there's like a few 150 premium. So that means that for the spot price, that's around 11,300, right? So keep that number in mind. Spot price 11,300 is the price that basically CME has closed off with. Is this a horrible or a bad weekly close? Not that really. It's not that bad. The reason why is, as you can see, we are still holding our range here. It is still it dropped. Obviously, it's a longer body towards the downside, but we're still holding the middle of this previous weekly candle close here, and still above the previous start of the body of this weekly candle close here. So overall, it's still in a range like I kind of expected as well. Like I explained before, this is pretty much consolidation, accumulation, whatever you want to be calling it, right? So that's basically what we're seeing. Very similar scenario, like I've explained before, when we had this area, when we broke off here and we made that move towards the upside, right? So very similar thing here. We made this move, we made the push towards the upside, and then we had a couple of weeks where we consolidated, as you can see here, also on the CME chart, consolidated 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, and then we had that push towards the upside. And pretty much the same thing that we're seeing right now, consolidation of 1, 2, 3 weeks right now. And yeah, I kind of expect depends on how fast things move, but yeah, it could take another week or 2 weeks or something like that we are ranging inside this range, but eventually we will have a break of this range, either towards the upside or the downside, obviously. So for now, that's basically what I'm seeing on the weekly chart. The daily, if you are looking on the daily is way more positive than the weekly chart. As you can see, daily closed like a nice green candle, but obviously not a reversal or anything like that. So nothing that special. Like I said, still ranging, could be accumulation, could be distribution, but yeah, nothing that special in terms of information that we can find aside from the price of the CME chart, right? So other than that, on the traditional markets, nothing to say. bullish, but the most important thing is, as you can see right now, and definitely on the Nasdaq chart, things are moving more towards the sideways right now, and that is actually even more bullish for Bitcoin. Like I said, if people are gonna get bored on the traditional markets, only then people are going to be moving their money into the cryptocurrency market or the gold market or anything else, because, well, like I said, Bitcoin is like an altcoin of the traditional markets rather than anything else, right? So that's actually, something that looks very, very positive for me. And then, well, how did the Dixie end? Well, Dixie didn't end. We had a massive push towards the downside, but it's still holding its ground right here on this level here at around 92.3. But as you can see here, if we are looking at the indicators at the moving averages, everything is just being pushed towards the downside. So do I think that this is the reversal pattern for Dixie? I doubt it. Let's take a look if we have some divergences. Do we have some divergences here made here on this level? Do we have some bullish divergence? No, we don't even have bullish divergence on the Dixie chart just yet. So yeah, very likely we will have continuation of the downtrend on the Dixie, which is obviously good for, like I said, for the traditional markets and for our investment and for Bitcoin, of course. So yeah, that's basically the whole analysis for Bitcoin for the weekend. Nothing that special. Still looking overall good and bullish, but we'll have to be waiting a little bit more patient, a couple more days. Next week, I think that we will will know what is going to be happening. Maybe take a look at some shitcoins. Let's take a look at Link. What did Link do? Well, Link is actually looking quite okay. Looks quite constructive and quite nice. And yeah, it looks like it wants to be testing this previous body here. It did that already, as you can see. If it starts closing above that area, making a higher high in comparison with this here, very likely we'll have continuation up to like back to like $16.08 cents, something like that for Link, if we manage to be closing above that area here. So let's maybe put a horizontal line there, here. Let's put a magnet there. So yeah, a close above $16 basically. 4-hour candle close above $16, very likely continuation towards 16.8. So that's what basically I would be looking at. But yeah, we can bullshit right now, so not really sure if we will manage to be closing above it. But yeah, let's see. For the moment, I think, yeah, still looks quite constructive and everything, but yeah, can take a little bit of a breather first, depending on what Bitcoin is doing as well, right? And then we'll see what happens there. Let's take a look on ETH. Well, what did I say yesterday on ETH? Well, very likely we would be going back up, leg up higher, and I said 407. I think 407. We didn't get that high. We got to 404. 404.4. So yeah, pretty much I mean, somewhere around that area. But as you can see right now as well, if this on the next 4-hour candle close, if we keep closing above this area, very likely over the next day or something like that, we will be heading back towards that 407, 408 area. Very, very likely. It looks quite constructive. Actually, it looks more bullish than Bitcoin right now. Let's take a look. Do we have bearish divergence, potential bearish divergence? Let's take a look. So we have a lower low and a higher low here. Yeah, potential bearish divergence as well, but it won't be working if we get a push towards the upside, right? The good thing about Ether is we have 1, 2, 3, 4 drives of bullish divergence. So Ethereum is actually looking stronger than Bitcoin right now. So I would the probability of ETH going towards 407, 408 is more higher than with Bitcoin, to be honest. And then maybe that is the one that is going to be dragging Bitcoin back up as well towards this 11,640 ish area. So yeah, that's it looks quite good, Ethereum. But yeah, very, very similar scenario as well. If we do break above this green box, very likely back to 420 ish, a small stop there, and then back to 430, right? 430-ish area for the next week if Bitcoin is going back to like the 12k 12.5k area. How is Neo doing? I haven't looked at Neo for a really long time. How is Neo doing? Let's take a look on Neo. Let's take a look on the daily first. See what we can see. Looks constructive. Looks constructive. Looks like it's trying to set in a higher low, right? So here, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Let's take a look if we have divergences. We have higher low. Yeah. Okay, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Looks constructive. Looks like it wants to do on the medium term continuation of the trend. So I would say that we very likely, well, once we start closing a daily candle above this area, we will head up a leg higher, right? So let's take a look what our leg higher would be maybe on the shorter time frames. So that would mean but right now, very similar to all others, it looks like it's getting rejected from this area. So a small pullback towards the downside is very likely though. But other than that, I mean, it's weekend bullshit as well, right? So let's take a look on the Fibonacci points. Sorry. Let's take a look on the traditionals. Weekly. Okay. Closing the daily above this area here. Very likely going up towards over $20, to be honest. So it looks quite good. Continuation towards eventually over towards the $20, something like that. Overall, looks constructive to me. Looks constructive to me. So it makes it's an uptrend, right? It keeps making higher lows. Sorry, lower highs, higher lows. So as long as it keeps doing that, everything looks fine. Still continuation. So $20, something like that is very, 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 very possible. Why are we referring to the Dixie chart more than the S&P? Well, the Dixie chart is actually the one that is more important, the most important, because, well, everything is, the world economy is being traded in mainly in the dollar, right? So when the dollar is devaluating, it actually makes the investment market or the stock market basically cheaper. So that's the reason why. It's just a correlation, right? So if the Dixie is going down, very likely the stock market is going up. So as you can see right here, we keep making higher highs and new all-time highs on this traditional market. So that's also the reason why I'm like, not bearish at all. Let's take a look on gold. I haven't taken a look on gold for a long time as well. Oh yeah, very big resistance area here that we're trying to be breaking, but it looks constructive. Looks constructive. Let's take a look on the daily. How did we close? Well, daily bullish engulfing candle, but yeah, very similar like Bitcoin. We have this gigantic resistance here on this area. So what we want is obviously see a daily close above that area. Then we can call it a reversal of this downtrend. But very similar like Bitcoin, right? This is looking like some sort of like a double. Like a Adam and Eve bottom, right? So something like this, yeah. No, more like a double bottom, to be honest. But anyways, same results. Looks like it's trying to be constructive and reversing back towards the uptrend. So it doesn't look bad at all. But we want to be seeing daily candle close above this area first. But yeah, looks good. Looks good to me. So yeah, there's also quite a correlation between the gold market and the Bitcoin market. A little bit less now, but there was a very high correlation at one point. But now it's a little bit less lately. since the last couple of weeks, to be honest. The correlation between gold and Bitcoin has been lowering. So in 1 minute we will see what is are we going to be holding the EMA 21 or not, actually, in how many, in 43 seconds. 43 seconds. Maybe we take another look at some other shitcoin, maybe algo. Oh yeah, so yeah, this algo I've spoken, yeah, very likely algo. I'm waiting for this this area here, right? So the bottom of this channel wedge, call it a wedge, somewhere near the EMA 200. This purple line here is where I would be interested in getting into a position, because very likely we'll have a bounce from that area as well. Right now it's just we have this bearish cross here, between the yellow and the green line, as you can see, and you can see the divergence is still getting stronger, so there's more pressure towards the downside rather than the upside. So very likely we'll get down towards that EMA 200 level, or even the 200 simple moving average here, somewhere around here, and very likely we'll have a bounce on that area once again. It can just wick down there or something. So somewhere around here is where I would be interested in getting a little bit of a position on algo. That would be very likely that we would be getting a bounce from there back towards the upside. Okay, now that we have our 4-hour close, let's take a look. Oh, so the 4-hour candle close bearish engulfing, closing below the EMA 21, closing below the 10 simple moving average, so that's definitely not that great, but we did hold the pivot line. So yeah, weekend bullshit. Do I think that that we're gonna have another push towards the upside? Yeah, no, it's very hard to say. The most bullish scenario would be the following: if we can just maintain around this area here during the weekend, and then of course Monday we get that push towards the upside. But yeah, it's nothing is confirmed or anything like that. It's just gonna be ranging. Very likely it's just going to be ranging between these two areas here, right? So during the weekend, so I might be tempted to long it again if it goes back down here towards this area here, towards this green box. Very likely it's going to try to put in a higher low, so something like this, some construction like this is what what is going to be happening. So somewhere around this area I might be interested in putting in a long, but not today or anything like that. I don't care what happens today. I'll think about it tomorrow, or maybe, or even Monday or something like that, and see how it goes. Not gonna put myself into the stress for this weekend. Enough stress already. Let's take a look on the expected move charts. Expected move charts, what are you saying? Expected move chart is saying first standard deviation to the upside is 11,588, which is basically the 11,600 area, and first standard deviation to the downside is 11,350, which is basically this green box here. So green box here, or this resistance trend line towards the upside. That is what the expected move chart is telling us. That's not really anything new. We do see that the slope is a little bit towards the upside, so the probability is a little bit higher that we go towards the upside, right? But this is more important here, the Stokes, as you can see here. We are back at that, and if the 12-hour candle close, so the next 12-hour candle close gets rejected here, that would be pretty bad. That would be pretty bad if we would be going down there. And then if we are looking on the daily, let's take a look. Yeah, daily is still towards the downside. Let's take a look on the 4-hour. Oh yeah, this is definitely not good. So on the 4-hour, it's starting to curl towards the downside. So yeah, I think more probability is higher right now, just looking at that, that we are going to be maybe swipe another swipe towards the downside during the weekend, something like that. But like I said, as long as it doesn't break, as long as we don't have a lower low on the daily, I'm still bullish. But of course, like I said, I don't trade my opinion. I just trade technical analysis. So whatever the price is doing, I have my plan set up, and yeah, that's basically what I'm going to be following. But for now, like I said, everything is still pointing for me rather towards the upside rather than the downside. But yeah, I'm not going to be you know, putting all hopes on that just yet. So yeah, yeah, I think that covers it for today. What am I expecting in the short term? Weekend bullshit, so ranging between 11.6 and 11.3 basically. That's most likely what I am expecting. If we do break this support resistance, and we close a 4-hour candle close above it, very likely continuation towards 11.9 ish area, this green box here. But that will be the key area, to be honest. So if the bulls push this up higher, very likely we'll be in a very good momentum and going towards 13 and 14k, blah blah blah, and so on. If we close a 4-hour candle below this area here, below this green box, very likely we swipe, and this time it's going to be a swipe a little bit lower than the previous swipe. So very likely we'll be going down towards like 11k, maybe even wick down towards like, you know, 10,950 or something like that. Does that still mean the end of the world? No. Like I said, a wick is not a close. If the daily closes below that area, then we have a problem. But yeah, it's if it's just a wick below that area, still nothing to be panicking about. It won't look pretty, but still nothing to be panicking about. But yeah, not going to be trading, just watching it out. And then tomorrow, let's come up with a plan and see how things are going. But for now, I'll leave it to that. Pretty much, you know, ranging on this Saturday. I don't think that much is going to be happening, to be honest. Except, let's see, maybe we see something special on the HVP. No, we don't see anything special on the HVP. Do we see anything special on the 12 hour? No, we don't see any special. Do we see on the daily? No, nothing on the daily. So yeah, very likely we'll just be ranging though. So that's basically it. Very likely we'll just be ranging. But yeah, I know that I do know that a lot of people are becoming more bearish. It seems like a lot of people are actually feeling more bearish, and that's actually a good thing for me. Like when people are telling me, you know, have a feeling that it's going to be crashing down. I have a feeling it's going to be crashing down. Like I said, it usually the opposite is what is going to be happening. Once again, that's just opinion talk. It has nothing to do with technical analysis. Like I said, the key areas, the green boxes, that's basically what I'm trading, and nothing else. So if I'm seeing that, like I said, daily candle closes below, making a lower low, I won't hesitate. I'll be taking short positions. If I see closes above the 12k area, I won't be hesitating. I'll be taking long positions. But until one of those two things happens, yeah, we have to be a little bit more patient. But more information, definitely more information when the weekly closes and the monthly closes. And like I said, next week we'll basically know what is going to be happening, because very likely we'll see expiration of options and monthly closes, settlements of the CME and stuff, and all of those things. It's going to be affecting the price very substantially. All right, so yep, I guess that's it for today. Hope to see you guys again tomorrow, same time, same place. Please like, share, comment, and well, do whatever you want with this channel. And until tomorrow, please stay home, stay safe.